Hey, and welcome to the quick start tutorial for the Army flight log. As you'll see, I'm doing this tutorial on an iPad as opposed to an iPhone just so that you can see everything at a glance and see it a little bit bigger. However, the iPhone has the exact same functionality and you can use that one just as well. So let's get started. The screen that you're looking at right now is the dashboard. This is where you're going to go to find all of the basic information that you might need to see at a glance throughout your flight career. On the top, you'll see two stickies that both say, currently they say no flights recorded. That's because there's absolutely no flights that have been recorded right now. But they refer to the current month and last month. So you'll be able to see all of your flight time broken down by day, night, NVG, hood, weather, simulator, and total for this month and last month. Now, if you step down, you'll also see your last logged flight. It'll give you the date and how many days ago it was, so you can track out how soon it is before you go out of currency. Same thing with your NVG flights. Now, if you come down here to the bottom, you'll see your career total times, and you'll also see your 6-month 8-part windows and see exactly where you stand. Okay, as our first order of business, we're going to go over here to the Settings tab. If this is the first time you've ever opened this app, you need to come here and set up a few things. Flight total time and NVG total time. This refers to your historical flight hours. If you have any flight hours before coming into this, unless you're brand spanking new in flight school, you're probably going to have some flight hours. And this is where you're going to want to add them. So if you have a few hundred hours, go ahead and add them in here. Also add your NVG time. I'm just going to pick a random number, and that number is 48. Now, this information will be calculated into the dashboard for your career total times. Now come down here to your birth month. Like I said, we calculate your 6-month 8-part minimums, and you're able, obviously, that's based on your birth month. So I'm going to put my birth month in there of May, just so that you can see exactly how this works. All right, the next thing you'll want to do before going any further is decide whether you're flying a specialized aircraft that's so special that it probably isn't going to be in our custom list of aircraft that we've already put together for you. So if you fly something that you want to track, such as a CH-47 Foxtrot, then add it here and click the Add button. If you decide that you don't want it later, just do a swipe here, and you can click Delete. We're going to leave it just so you can see exactly where this shows up. Okay, from here we're going to add a flight. But first, make sure you click that Save button a couple times to make sure that this information is saved. Come down here on the bottom to the Add Flight tab right in the middle. Okay, now you're ready to log your first flight. The first place you want to go is the date right here. It always defaults to the current date, but if you're logging a back flight, come here and make sure you set the date correctly. We'll set this to, I don't know, September 29th, and you'll see that it changes right here in the box. All right, next you need to log a from location. Let's say we're flying from AZO to the destination of DET. These are locations up in Michigan, actually. Let's come down here to aircraft. You log your aircraft. As you can see, we have a number that are already put in here, but if you fly a different one that you set in the custom aircraft, you can come right down here to make sure that it's set correctly. Come here to the tail number. You can set a 3 to 5 digit tail number. Come down here to the mission ID, and then you can set training, maintenance, combat, imminent danger. It just depends on where you're flying. So we're going to set this as a training flight. Come over here to position. We're going to set this as a PC flight, flying in daytime conditions for a total of 4 hours. That's a good size flight. So keep in mind, you do need to have at least one of these positions, conditions, and hour lines filled out in order for this flight to take, in order for it to add. Come down here and click on Add Flight. It says, are you sure? You say yes. And your flight data has now been saved. Okay, from here, let's check out the Flight Log tab. This is where you're going to find all of the flights that you log. On this screen, you'll find all the information that you need, an edit icon so you can edit the flights, the export icon so that you can export your log into a CSV format, or come over here to the search bar so that you can actually expand your search results and show more flights at a given time. Okay, let's take one last look at the dashboard. You can see all the information that we entered is now reflecting properly. The career total time is now reflecting properly down here in the bottom left. And if you look over here, when we put our birth month in as May, it's now reading correctly and reflecting the proper 6-month minimums. So congratulations, you've now entered your first flight log, and I encourage you to log as many flights as you want and for as long as you would like. Enjoy the Army flight log and let me know if you have any questions at all. If you like what you see, visit us online at armyflightlog.com to learn more or to view more tutorials about Army Flight Log.